It is July 1st. It is the beginning of NBA free agency. There's a lot of money being thrown around, but it's not about where a player wants to go. It's where the biggest story is where a player doesn't want to be anymore. Can you name the band, Key? He's singing along. Thought maybe you knew the song.
Sounds like something getting me ready for the 4th of July, though. That's for sure.
That is true.
For a great weekend, 4th of July. That's what it sounds like. Good,
I like
good
that.
music.
Going into Friday.
James Steele is certainly on the DJ booth. He's part of the – he's certainly – I can just tell. Based on the music, I can tell you who's running it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put that together. Jerry put that together. But, yeah,
same
that is
guy,
definitely...
though.
Great job,
Same guy.
Yeah, we look exactly the same.
No, just the same.
Some Skid Row to start your morning. How can it get any better than that?
Youth Gone Wild, right?
Youth Gone Wild? Absolutely.
Yeah, that was Skid Row. That's who it was.
Yeah, I knew you knew.
Key. I knew Key would remember it. James is in his Speedo. He's right outside Key's pool. He's got the ones and twos out, and he's ready to go for the party. He's just giving you a little taste about what you would get. But, yes, it is Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Did you say he had the ones and twos out?
Ones and twos are secure.
I thought he said on the ones and twos. Did I say he had them out? No, it's
I
way
think
too
you
early.
did.
That's what you said.
I
I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, keep them in, James. I don't think anyone wants to see that.
fully secured. Ones and twos are secured.
Making sure. Yes. Okay. Well, that's a great way to start the show. It's Alan Hunt in for Max. And I'm here with Key, and we're here with you at 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. We are also presented by Progressive Insurance. So, Key, a story that we have been talking about all week came to fruition yesterday in the afternoon, and all of a sudden, as teams were preparing to sign players and make moves to improve their roster, everything in Brooklyn has come crashing down. As Kyrie Irving, did pick up the option. He's under contract for a year, but how long will he stay there after the news that Kevin Durant went to Joe Tsai and said, I'm out of here? Here's Adrian Wojnarowski explaining how the hell we got here.
You know, I think Kevin Durant wanted to try to get Kyrie Irving a long-term deal in Brooklyn, just like Kyrie Irving wanted it. They did not get it from the organization. And I think once he had to opt into that contract and essentially was playing on an expiring contract, you know, even at that point, the communication between the organization and Kevin Durant had really ceased to exist. And even after he opted in, you know, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving have not been engaging with the organization. There was a sense around Brooklyn and a sense around the league as teams were preparing to make offers that Kevin Durant was going to ask out at some point in the offseason. It came today. And I think so much of it, you talk to people around Kevin Durant, and the disappointment around this team, the underachieving of this era, and then the Golden State Warriors winning a championship this year in the aftermath of Durant leaving. And I think all that came with that, the criticism, the second-guessing, all of that contributed to what happened today when I'm told Kevin Durant called Joe Tsai, the Nets owner, and told him essentially, I need a change of scenery. I want you to trade me.
Key, Kevin Durant was trying to get Kyrie a contract, longer contract, didn't get it. And no, he's not happy. And as has been predicted, as Brian Windhorst was also saying, he is unhappy. He wants out. I mean, are you shocked by this development?
No. Woj is 100% correct in his assessment of the situation in Brooklyn. When you look at it from the outset, Kevin Durant wanted to be in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Nets along with Kyrie Irving, but at the same time, he wanted to make sure that Kyrie Irving got the deal that made the most sense for Kyrie Irving along with Kevin Durant. And I know it sounds strange because you're like, well, wait a minute. But what happens is it just tells you that the organization and Sean Marks and company really isn't listening to Kevin Durant as the guy. In this day and age in the NBA, the star player essentially is running the organization. And I think you look at LeBron James, for instance, or some of these other guys that's around, Kevin Durant was in a similar situation, but clearly the New Jersey Nets, the Brooklyn Nets made the decision that they were no longer going to listen to Kevin Durant. So he made the decision to say, you know what, since you don't want to honor that commitment to my buddy, then we getting ready to take our act on the road. And by me coming to you and saying, hey, I want to request a trade, you're going to grant that permission for me to go seek a trade, because at this point in time, what do you have? Kyrie's going to want to be out. I'm not standing around here messing around with just Ben Simmons. I'm going to look for something else. So that's what you got right there.
Yeah, if you're Ben Simmons, you're probably looking like, wait, what just happened here? Like all of a sudden, the best player wants to go. The other guy certainly will go. I mean, if they move Kevin Durant, Kyrie is certainly going to be right behind to another team. And where they go and all that stuff, we certainly will discuss what the best fits are. That's all going to be up for discussion for the rest of this show. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776, of course, for you to be part of the conversation of where you think Kevin Durant's going to end up. I cut you off, Key. What'd you want to say?
No. You're doing your job. You said if they move Kevin Durant. No, when they move Kevin Durant. That's all I was going to say. Because you said if they. I'm like, no, when they move Kevin Durant. Both of them are gone. It's just a matter of time.
It is, but that could take time. Because if I'm Sean Marks, even before we get to this part, though, Key, this is clearly – you had to know that Sean Marks, the GM of the Nets, Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, had to know if they weren't going to give Kyrie Irving what he wanted, which is a full guaranteed extension. They knew this was going to happen, that it's going to upset these guys, and Kevin Durant might want out. That was a risk they were willing to take. Doesn't that suggest to you that things were maybe even worse than we thought in Brooklyn after over the last year, all the things they had to deal with, and they thought, you know what? Enough. We've been through enough. This is not worth it to buy in for another 3-4 years with these guys.
And that's okay from an ownership standpoint. Ownership makes the decisions on a lot of things. And if the decision is you don't want to put up with what comes with Kyrie Irving, let's start there. Whatever you want to say about Kyrie Irving, some things come with Kyrie Irving and people don't like it. Mm-hmm. You signed up for that 3 years ago. You knew this. It wasn't like you did not know that Kyrie Irving could be a certain type of individual. So if you signed up for it then, what made you think it was going to change?
Yeah.
And then you don't want to sign up for it to keep Kevin Durant? That's not a good business decision. Because if I gave you and I lured you to Brooklyn last time around, it's not like, hey, in the end, yes, injuries do happen. In the end, people need a break. In the end, the vaccination situation came up. People want to package all that up together and make Kyrie sound like he just so far out there that no one can deal with him. There's a lot of teams that'll deal with him. You have to make that decision as an ownership group in Brooklyn if that was what you wanted to do moving forward. And you clearly said you'd rather hit the reset button than to try to win a championship over the next couple years, because whatever you get back in return and whatever you draft will not be Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It just won't be.
That is certainly true. That is the part, I think, where the risk comes in, is that
I'm willing to take that risk, though, as an owner. I'll take that risk to sign Kyrie and see what happens. I'm willing to take that risk. I'm willing to take the headache on if I'm trying to win a championship.
That's the part to me that makes this so compelling, right? It's the idea that they knew the risk and were willing to take it, which makes me wonder how bad were things there. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Let's grab a call here real quick, Key, because a lot of people want to sound off on this. And let's start with Greg in Oregon. Greg, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, my beef is with Kyrie Irving. He's not a team player, and the owner willing to take Key saying that he'd take money, pay any kind of money for the guy. He's got to remember the fans who support him. I'm sick and tired of the crap that they're just paying money before things even happen, and they're not worth it. I'd say I would pass on Kevin Durant too, just because he's got 15 years in. What, he was drafted in 2007? He's got 15 years in just about Achilles tendon. He's on a contract for 4 more years?
4 more years.
At $190 million?
Yep.
He hasn't played 80 games.
Give me that contract.
And when has Kyrie Irving played 80 games? Never.
So, that's something that's coming back to when he was younger. Money. Yeah, all right. Well, Greg doesn't like either one of them, Keith.
Yeah, no, well, Greg is, come on, man.
He doesn't believe in either one of them. I'm just, again, I look at it like it's a headache.